home at best. Hey, in diaspora, current affairs, reliable information, history, talking about culture, politics, education, entertainment, business, sports, advertisement, articulation. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. From Monday to Sunday.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jack.
And I am a sincere person. Welcome to yet another edition of our programs here, Focus on Liberia. We educate, we elevate, and we promote all things with dear country, Liberia. We have a president-elect, and our expectation is that he will get to business. He came on a rescue mission, and we believe he should have a rescue team that is here to rescue a dying country, Liberia. At least that's the impression we'll be given, that the nation Liberia needs rescue. And I agree, Liberia must be rescued. So the message that Liberia needs to be rescued was accepted by the Liberian people. And the Liberian people have given Joseph Boakai a mandate, and now he is president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. And Mr. Boakai will now have that opportunity he has long been seeking to serve his country as president. And what could be a better time to serve his country than now? When in his words, this country needs to be rescued. When in his supporters' words, this country needs to be rescued. And I am in 100% agreement. We need to rescue every sector. Our country must be rescued. And so this is a rescue mission. The question I want to ask right now is, when do we rescue somebody? We rescue someone when someone is in distress. When a person is in a situation that is like a danger, an immediate danger that may take away the person's life, an immediate situation that is precarious to the person's well-being. When that person is in a distress, when that person is in a place of danger, then a rescue mission is activated to go to the rescue of that person. If you look at education, if you look at the issue of roads, if you look at the provision of basic social services, when you look at the functioning of the government, when you look at everything in Liberia, we are not certified. In fact, just look at the road leading to RIA. This is the nation's only and only international airport. This is the first road every national that enters the country get to see. That is the way to the country Liberia. That is the road to the capital, Monrovia. And that road tells you there's nothing here that you can be proud of, except for the people of Liberia who are friendly. And so, folks, let us have an agreement right now The nation Liberia needs to be rescued. And let us all give this new administration the opportunity to carry on its rescue mission. So here we are. We have a rescue mission, and we can only hope that we will be rescued. We can only believe that we will be rescued, for rescuing Liberia is what we need, and we need it now. So when one has come to rescue, what must one do? But we have a topic, and I thought to put you in a better frame of mind to be able to get ready for this topic. And it's a very, very good topic for discussion today. Our topic for today with President Joseph Boakai be a departure from President Weah. With Joseph Boakai, with President Boakai be a departure from President Weah. And so in order for us to know whether or not the man who is on the rescue mission, the Unity Party that is on this rescue mission, will be a departure from President Weah and the CDC, we must first of all understand what the CDC has been to us, that has been distasteful, that has not been to the satisfaction of us as a people. What trajectory did the CDC have on as a nation? Have we been making progress? Were we making progress? Are we making progress? Many agree we are not on a good footing. And so, evident by the election, the CDC got kicked out of the way. The CDC said more in a row. The country giant is coming. And the country giant came to town. And that giant was strong enough to save us from corruption. That giant was strong enough to save us from poverty, backwardness, bad educational system. And you name it, that giant came to save us. The Liberian people did not see that giant to be that savior, and so they got rid of him. So we must know, what did we have? And how can Boakai be a departure? What political party did we have in power? How did it govern us? How well did it do? How well did it serve our people? Did it improve the material conditions of our people? Did we make progress as we should have on the CDC? Were the CDC sensitive to the plight and needs of our people? Did the CDC provide governance in a meaningful way and in a transformative way for our people? Did it do that? Are there things we can agree they did so horribly? And can the new administration that has come to rescue us from all of the excesses of the past regime, can this administration, can this president be a departure from what we have been so distasteful about? So that is our topic. Will President Boakai be a departure from President Weah? So what was Weah and the CDC all about that Joseph Boakai must depart from? I repeat, what was President Weah and the CDC were all about when it came to governance of our country, that was so distasteful, bad, ugly, unacceptable, insensitive, unbecoming, corrupt, that this new administration under Joseph Boakai that is coming to power be a departure from? We need to know. That's the only way we'll know whether Boakai and the Unity Party will be departing from this ugly past that we are putting behind. This chapter of backwardness, this chapter of corruption, this chapter of insensitivity, and the opposition folks will tell us this chapter of incompetence, this chapter of ineptitude, this chapter of unseriousness and dancing and political slogans and worshiping the leader as God, even when nothing is done. This culture of justification for everything that's been done, whether wrong or not, being justified. Will Boakai be a departure for us to be rescued? He must depart from those things that we all have reason to regret. And so, one of the things President Weah did that President Boakai must depart from is Weah's inability, unwillingness, intentional and willful disregard to not speaking to serious matters affecting the nation. President Weah will not speak on any major thing happening in our country. He was quiet. He was not a leader on issues in Liberia. That is the kind of president he was. Will Boakai be different? Will he depart from the behavior of the president in President Weah? Not speaking to issues that will build up tension in the country? Or will he be the president Weah who has said nothing? If Boakai will speak on serious issues as president, will speak to the nation and its people about serious matters of conflict in the country, then he will be registering a departure from the past. So we can only hope, wait, and see whether President Boakai will be a departure for President Weah when it comes to speaking to the nation and its people on serious matters. Mr. Boakai is known to be the man of few words. One can argue he and President Weah, they really don't talk. The role of a president is to also speak to your people when your people need to hear from you, especially when they are in distress. You need to speak to the nation. For example, when auditors died during the Weah administration, something that was mysterious, something that was frightening to the nation, 3 auditors died in the country in less than 48 days. That was alarming in the country. And the president chose not to address the nation on something that serious. Those were senior officials of government who died under mysterious circumstances. Instead, the president chose to go to his church and who said that was about a boyfriend and girlfriend situation when there was no investigation being done at the time. In other words, the president did not address the nation on that. We heard about the 3 missing boys and another serious disappearance of 3 young citizens of our country. The president did not speak about the disappearance of those young people. Many, many things have happened in Liberia. When you think the president will speak to the issues, he said no word. Will Boakai be a departure from that? Or will he be more of the same? We will know if Boakai will be addressing issues that are building tension in the country. When he will be speaking to that or to those things, then we'll know he will be registering a departure. Then we know that he's on a rescue mission. So one can argue that President Weah did not take the presidency seriously. We just said Boakai take the presidency of Liberia seriously. So let me give you a picture of this thing called presidency. It is the highest privilege in the land, given to one by majority of the citizens, despite few others contesting for it. There have been serial minds in Liberia who have opted for this position. People we all can agree were qualified and suited for that position. The likes of Tipota did not get it. And many others who contested for the presidency. Tal Walker Brunskin comes to mind. Cummins tried, many prominent sons and daughters of Liberia opted for this position. They will not get it. There will be one person at a time, will be chosen by the people to serve in that privileged position. It is an Armstrong responsibility given to one at a particular point in time by the people to serve their people. So it must be a serious responsibility. Millions are spent just to choose a president. Citizens will gather in line just to choose a president. Many will campaign just to choose a president. And here are the reasons people choose president. That person will lead the country to prosperity. That person will provide protection for the citizens. And that person will provide the enabling environment that will lead to opportunity and providing the basic social services for the citizen, education, health, road network, electricity, you name it. These are the reason the citizen in the majority will come together, be it rain, sun, or shine. Be it rain or sun, they will gather to vote. And if you look at Boakai's case, we saw people swimming in flood water in the streets of Monrovia to say, this is the man that we want. Similarly, in Weah's case, before becoming president, many young people presented their own teachers. They were in the sun, they were in the rain, they insulted others insulted them, others talked them down, and they said, no, he will be our president. They did it for one reason, not because they have loved him so much, but because they have hope in him that he will do what others before him did not do, to providing material work for them, creating the opportunity for them to be able to live better lives. That was the reason they did that. So it's the case with Joseph Boakai. So when one is choosing to be president, that one must take the job of president seriously. Because too many things, too many efforts, too many sacrifices, too many hopes and aspirations, so many reasons are put into the decision to choose a president. But we saw President Weah, who shed tears on the day he got elected. He started dancing Boakai. He started traveling in an uncontrollable manner. He became insensitive to the people who elected him. In no time, he broke down his homes, and mansions were flying in the roof. I don't know whether he wanted to become a real estate agent, something he did not do when he was not in power. He started flying a private jet, something he did not do, even when he had his so-called millions. His sensitivity to the highest order. It was like he did not come for the purpose of providing basic social services for the citizens that elected him. It was like he did not come to move this country forward, to transform this country. It's like he came to transform his life. In no time, he had it all. He was buying lands, he was acquiring properties. And so, as they say in Liberia, follow the leader, his soldiers follow him. They were building homes, they were acquiring wealth. He did not take the presidency seriously. With Joseph Boakai be a departure from that behavior exhibited by President Weah. Now, he may not be the one to go building homes where he stopped his officials when they start to do that. Weah as president would cash out to go just about anywhere. He would be dancing. He would be making music. He was elected as president to serve his nation, and he took a full-time career in music. He was releasing one single after the other. Wow, he was serving as president. Take the presidency seriously. So many people's lives and the future of the country depends on it. It is not a time to merry-make, and it's not the time to be fooling around and wasting time. This election that brought Joseph Boakai to power, few Liberians died. People lost their lives. People lost their lives to see Joseph Boakai becoming president today. Take the presidency seriously. It is not a time to be wasting your time with people. That's not the time for that. Don't be insensitive to what people say. So one of the things that we want to see is that will President Boakai be a departure from President Weah when it comes to presidential interference, or if we let presidential interferences? It has become a culture in Liberia now that the president will be interfering in everything. It was not only with Weah, it was with presidents in the past. For example, the legislature is debating a major issue. Maybe it's the budget. Maybe it is a concession agreement that has been sent to the legislature for them to ratify. The president of the Republic of Liberia will take volume of money intended as bribe for lawmakers to do their job for which the people elected them anyway. Interfering in legislative matters in the name of political lobbying is unfortunate because taxpayer dollars are spent on individuals who've been paid anyway and elected by the people to represent them at that level to do that piece of job. A president will interfere. In fact, the Ellen Johnson Study Administration, in which Joseph Boakai served, brought this doctrine of brown envelope, practically bribing lawmakers in broad day and giving them money to induce them to vote in a particular way. Now, that's another unfortunate situation, but they do so knowing that some of the concessions agreements are not in the interest of the people they have been elected to serve anyway. So you have an agreement that does not provide any meaningful respect to the people in terms of incentives, as though that is not enough of a slap in the faces of the people. You take the country money and give it to the lawmakers, the people elected to represent them, their best interest by ensuring that concessions agreement meets the needs of the people in a fair manner. The president jumps in there and swears things in your favor against the will and the pleasure and the interest of the people, interfering there. Why don't you give those people the chance to do their work? Will Joseph Boakai be a departure from the past in that way? Now, let me give you a practical example here. When COVID came, there was this thing called stimulus package. According to the government, the stimulus package was intended to provide some incentives for the Liberian people, saying it was COVID time and they were asked to stay indoors, so they will have rice. There's going to be the distribution of rice. There's going to be the distribution of oil. Maybe some of you don't remember that they were going to provide even water and electricity for them. The lawmakers were supposed to ratify that particular stimulus package, so that the people will have the rice and the oil and the water and the free covering for them to stay indoor, because COVID was a dangerous thing that was coming. the president of the Republic of Liberia, reportedly, and it was confirmed by the very lawmakers, that they were bribed. $6,000 was the amount given to all lawmakers, and they took the money. With Joseph Boakai be a departure from such ugly past? A stimulus package, and they have contracted WFP at the time to carry on the distribution. It was not a distribution, and I think for them to put a framework into place that will ease the distribution, WFP was giving $10 million Liberian dollars. When Liberian citizens and youth are ready with energy and strength to divide the rest, WFP took that money. Something tells me the amount was around $30 million. That money, that rice, some people did not get a grain of rice today, and yet their lawmaker to pay, and they were paid or bribed by the president of the Republic of Liberia. What I'm saying is, will Boakai be a departure from that ugly past? Then we will know he is on a rescue mission. Stop the presidential interferences. Why are you interfering? Why do this president interfere this much? Now, at Joseph Boakai's birthday celebration, you know, the business people always have a way of putting our politicians in their pockets. This has been the culture. And these are the things that lead to the increase in prices, especially rice that Liberian people eat so much. Our government officials are getting kickbacks. And so either they are getting these people subsidies, and despite these subsidies, they are increasing the prices anyway because they are giving these government official kickbacks. So they want to make profits. At Joseph Boakai's birthday celebration, I saw a group of Lebanese businessmen there. What did they go to do there? Some of them are thinking, well, it was the man's birthday, so people have to go there. When was the last time they went to Joseph Boakai's birthday? Oh, he president now. So he has something that they want, right? A businessman is about making profits. It's about his business interest, protecting it, securing it, and how he can maximize profit. And so they went to Joseph Boakai's birthday celebration. Lebanese businessmen, they are in so many businesses in Liberia. We know that. They were there. Will Joseph Boakai be a departure from previous leaders in our country who could connive with the Lebanese businessmen in Liberia to cheat our people on prices? They will not regulate them in a very effective manner, protecting our people and saving them from high cost of commodities in the country. Will he be a departure from that? I talk about dubious concession agreement negotiation by government of Liberia, bribing lawmakers, taking money from the concessionaires themselves, and thereby giving our people, deals or incentives that will not be in their own, that will not be in their interest. So if our new president Boakai must be a departure from the past, competence, integrity will be one of the things we'll be looking at. Will he be appointing people of competence, integrity, and experience? That's one thing. But here's the news. That is not enough. That is not enough. Appointing competent people. We have high competent people in Liberia. To this day, we have some competent people. We can agree also we have misfits, unqualified individuals. Some people call them inept. We have those people just as we have competent people. But what have been the results, the deliverables, the transformation being carried on by these competence people that we've had and experienced people that we had? If the experienced people that we had, we won, have been producing results, have been breaking transformation, have been doing what they needed to do or need to do for us to move forward, then how come we are this far back? Beyond almost everybody. How come? So competence and experience and qualification, not enough. Somebody may be qualified and competent enough to be a PRC boss. The LPRC, that institution, has always been treated just as a storage facility. If you read the act creating that, it goes far beyond just maintaining a main storage facility and paying employees and providing security for that facility. That is not enough. That is why it has always been like that. And the same can be said about ministries and agencies. Look at the Ministry of Information. Look at the building. Look at our finance ministry. Look at the physical appearance of the building. Where is transformation? Where is innovation? Where is growth? Where is it? We have competent people. It is not, is it just about paying salaries? This is what the CDC settled for. Oh, we're paying salary on time, but I know they're not paying salary on time now. So, folks, competence alone will not cut it. We want a departure from just competence. Let's look at integrity. Some people have high integrity, they have served in government, to be honest. There have been some people that have high integrity and they serve in government. But how far did their integrity take us? So integrity is not enough. There's a Bible story I heard about I think a king who gave, I think they call it talents. Maybe that made money to some individuals who were in close to the king. And one of them said, well, the king yet is highly respected. I want to be, I want to be faithful. I want to be loyal. I don't want to do anything stupid. So I will keep that which the king has given me. And when he returns, or when it's time to return it, I will take it right back to him just as he has given it to me. Whereas there were others who were given similar amount or about the same amount, who went and invested what was given to them. They grow it, they multiply it, they magnify it. And so when it was time for them to make report, they came to the king and they said, oh, good king, you gave me $10, but the $10 you gave me, this is what I did with it. I invested it. I started something with it. And I've been able to turn that $10 to $100. I've been able to turn that $1 million to $2 million. And then there was the guy said, king, you are a good king. All you told me was to just keep this talent or this money. And so, yeah, it is. And the king looked at him and said, get away from me. Many of you know the story very well, but you know the point I'm making here. So I'm saying having integrity is not enough. You can have integrity and not steal money at the Ministry of Labor. But how many Liberians are getting employed? How many policies you are putting in place? How are you putting policy in place that will increase the living wage of ordinary Liberians? You can be a minister of education. It's not enough to pay teacher salaries. It's not enough to just pay the school buildings. You may not be stealing the money, but it will not be enough to pay the school buildings. Are you bringing books? Are you training more teachers? Are you building more schools? Are you innovating in our schools? Are you bringing technology in the classroom? Are you providing computer labs or libraries for our students? Do our students have access to libraries? Are they doing computer science? Are they searching online? Or are you just that person? Well, the person before me was Minister of Education, they pay salary, they train teacher, and that's it. That is not enough. That is what we have been doing. So having integrity will not be informed. We need people who will come to government, who will innovate, who will transform, who will grow, and who will increase capacity. That will lead to development in Liberia. That is what we want. We don't want bench warmers, qualified bench warmers, sitting administrators and agencies, and all they do is just collect checks, get cars, and drive around Monrovia. And the building that they are in, and it's not even painted. And they are qualified and they're just there. And that's it. So integrity and competence and qualification, not enough for Liberia. We have enough competence people who serve in government where we are. We need innovative people whose intention will be to transform, to grow, to innovate, to increase capacity. That's what we need. That would be a departure from the past. So the president-elect must demand these kind of things from all those that will serve in his government. Then it will register a departure from the past. So that brings me to this issue of minimalism. What is minimalism? From the word minimum, small, small. Everything let's do is small, small. The other word to it is called gradualism. Gradually. Let's do it step by step, step by step. President Weah came and he built a road in Doe community, that 1 mile road. So let's build another 1 mile road. Yeah. Something has been done. Gradualism, it will not help us. We need to be progressive. We need to be bold. We need to be robust. We need to be ambitious. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to grow, increase capacity, transform, innovate, empower. We need to do those things. So minimalism will not help us. And people justify this level of minimalism and gradualism, doing things small, small. Imagine people building roads and repairing one road over and over, over and over, over and over. The RIA road was not built during early time. We did not build it. He said he was starting it. It was never done. Now we have Boakai coming. Will Boakai do it or Boakai will not do it? So this gradualism and minimalism mentality must stop. We should go beyond just accepting the bare minimum. The men are minister, we haven't heard any scandal, in a place that, they paying salary on time, and, the teachers. That is not enough. So many times we have paid teachers on time. So many times we have paid nurses on time. How are we increasing the capacity of these nurses? How are we increasing the capacity of our hospitals? How are we providing access to healthcare? How are we making healthcare affordable? What are the innovative ways of getting to our people in the leeward counties to provide healthcare for them? Everybody must come to Monrovia to come to JFK. That is overcrowded. It does not even have the capacity in the first place. Well, when JFK is open, it's running, we okay. Minimalism being celebrated, gradualism being celebrated. That is unacceptable for the Liberia we should be desirous of. So this government must go beyond minimalism, small things, being little-minded about development, not being bold and innovative and transformative, not being result-oriented, doing the bare minimum, whatever previous people did, let's just do it. We need to stop that mentality of gradualism and minimalism because it will not get us there. The countries that are doing better, they are not settling for minimalism and gradualism. Small, small, network, small, small. We should depart from that. And there is the whole idea of placeholders. Some of these people are appointed, say a minister of information. If you look at the statute that created the Ministry of Information, there are so many good things. We're talking about Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. The bare minimum we heard all along from every Minister of Information is just to either go on BBC to defend Liberia or to speak to VOA. They go to the ministry and just sit down there, regulating video clubs, granting licenses to media institutions, and that's all. That is all. Once that is done, we're good. How have those things transformed our country in a significant way? Even those processes have become cumbersome. Can somebody sit in the comfort of their own space and apply for a license online for broadcasting and get it? Can somebody go online and pay for the broadcast license and get it and submit all the requirements, and it can be verified online by the institution and they get their certification? No. You have to walk. You have to chase people. You have to bribe people. Minimalism, same way, small, small way, over and over. So where's the innovation? So if you are only coming to do what John Paul did since 1947, then we are not going anywhere. That's why the Ministry of Information is still there like that. Even to maintain those billings, it's a problem for these so-called qualified people with the credentials. Once they get their Bune card and they are getting their allowances, they just want to make sure that the people at that ministry, they are paid. And the next thing is they will defend government in either way on the radio station. And that's it. What kind of policy they are putting into place to provide licenses to media practitioners? What are they doing? That's just more ministry. But so many agencies across the country, they are only doing the bare minimum, and that will not get us anywhere. They are doing things gradually, and they're not going to get us anywhere. Look at the National Election Commission. Biometric voter registration, we talk about a failed fiasco. So we went back to square one, the manual system. This is 2023. Technology rules the world today. Internet connectivity in Liberia is near zero or poor. What are we doing about that? The provision of electricity in our country is far beyond many other countries. Are there innovative ways to provide? Can we bring private businesses in the sector to provide electricity? Is government going to be doing everything? Can government just regulate? We need to go beyond this. Having placeholders, people just sitting in the ministries and just doing those things that have been done over and over, for which we are nowhere, will not get us there. So there must be a departure from placeholders, minimalism, and gradualism. They must innovate, they must improve, they must grow, they must transform, they must increase capacity, and they must use technology to do so. Then we will be getting somewhere. That's how we depart from the past. Now, another thing that will register a departure from the previous government is that the new president must involve family members in the government as asset controllers. Asset controller is anybody who is controlling, say, a ministry or a huge department. That's a huge asset that person is controlling. You know, the Tubboat government was considered a nepotistic. Tubboat has nearly his entire family in government serving in so many consequential capacities in the government. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, fast forward, came and would do the same thing. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had all her sons in government. And she said they were talented, they had brains, they were qualified. That was her justification. And many accused President Weah of bringing family members in government. I don't know exactly how many. I heard about, I think, one or two. We had two people who were President Weah carried the same name, being a MPA, the National Port Authority, that they were consulting and will be paying, huge amount of money, whether they were qualified or not. That must be a departure from previous government. Ellen did it. Talbot did it. I think these are the two, more prominent, I know, among the few who brought family members into government. We must have a departure from that. So the Talbot Nieri had all his family members in government. That is why I was classified as nepotistic. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who and others have accused Talbot, came and did just exactly what Talbot had done. This president-elect must be a departure from that. Now, another thing that this new president must do that will register a departure from the past is the issue of asset declaration. This new president, to register a significant departure from the past, should be the first to declare his asset and make it public he should publish it and make it public for all Liberians to see what he has. When he does that, then he will be departing from the past. President Weah, when he got elected and inaugurated in January of 2018, he refused to declare his asset till July of that 2018, nearly 7 months later. And the Code of Ethics, the Code of Conduct, Law of Liberia says any officials of government must declare their asset before taking office. President Weah took office without declaring his asset. When people tried to raise that issue, he reneged, he never cared till July, when he declared his asset in the middle of darkness and will hide it today. No one can tell you what kind of asset President Weah declared. So this president-elect must register a significant departure by being an example and taking the lead to declare his asset and putting it out there for Liberians to see, and demanding that whoever he appoints does the same. Councillor Tiawan Gonglo party, the LPP endorsed President-elect Joseph Boakai. Tiawan Gonglo during the campaign time said, well, the salary of all government officials will be placed on the website for everybody to see. I think it's a good thing. Maybe the president-elect should do that. It will register a significant departure from the past, because we have people who are working for us, who we hire. We don't know how much we are paying them. We have no idea. They are hiding it. I work for a private institution in the US. My employer knows my salary. So if we Liberians employ these people, how come we don't know their salaries? How come? So the way we know their salaries will be when the salaries are made public on website for us to see. That will register a significant departure from the past. Can we get that? Will we get that from the president-elect? I think we should get that. That is not a difficult thing to hide. After all, you should have nothing to hide. This is public service. This is not secret service. This is not private business. This is the people's government. The people must see and the people must know what the people who they employ earning. We must know. That will register a significant departure from the past. That I don't have to guess what the finance minister is making. That I don't have to guess what the president is making. That I don't have to guess what the director, what the secretary. We should know all of these things. This information should be put together on a website, either on the civil servant website, whatever website is going to be. Let Liberians be able to know what these people are making. it will register a significant departure from the past. Hello, can we get that from our new president? Folks, our topic is succinct. Why will President Boakai, be a departure from President Weah? And we are trying to share with you some of the things that can be done that will register a departure. Boakai is on record by saying, you cannot give a man's job to a boy. President Weah, he was referring to, is a boy. And that Liberian people have given him, this boy called Joshua, a man's job. Boakai now got the man's job. This is a job for a man. So let him be a departure from a boy to a man by doing things that will suggest that he registered a significant and transformative departure, and he is a man for the job. He must demonstrate that. Another thing that we saw was investigations were never brought to conclusions. If this new president will register a departure from the past, it won't be a departure from President Weah. We want to see investigations being concluded. We're not sure whether or not the death of the auditors were concluded conclusively. The missing boys, we don't know whether, that whole thing got concluded. And folks, when we are talking about deaths, either by mob violence, in the case of student Walter Susulu that we just had before this show, that student leader from the Student Unification Party, who the CDC COP humiliated, brutalized, at the embassy on camera, right before our eyes. Those students, the leaders of CDC COP, were invited by the police. They were not arrested. I know at some point they carried them to court. How did that case end? Do we know? We have cases of individuals either raping babies. Do we have police presence in places they should be to arrest similar, situations? We heard stories of ghettos being raided by the police, and the police will not give up periodic updates on the statuses of those cases. If you look at our police their uniforms are so faded. I don't know when was the last time the government of Liberia provided uniform for the police. The last time I asked my police friend, he said last time they did that was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time. And since then, the police have been providing their own uniform. The police is the image of the country. If anybody will come to your country and take your country serious, when they see your police officer well dressed, the police officer is a symbol, it's a representation, it's an embodiment of your nation. How you take care of the police will show that you care about your government and that you respect the office of the president that you hold in the first place. How can we tell that you are a good president? I mean, look at your police. Look at their uniform. How well are they paid? What kind of training are they getting? Regular training? Do we have police presence? Look at the cars the police are using. How are they taking care of those cars anyway? I would want to even add that this whole thing about cars in our country, there should be a serious relook at it. The president comes to power, and the next thing you know, all the previous cars that were acquired by the previous government are gone. People have stolen the cars. People have crossed with the cars to Ivory Coast and other places, removed the license plate, changed the PIN, and then no record of that. So the new government comes to power. We now start finding new cars for new government officials. Simple. Let us have an immediate departure from the past. No government official the government of Liberia should buy a car for, except for few exceptions. Maybe the president, the vice president, the speaker, the pro tem, all right? Maybe the chief justice and associate justices, all other people, and then maybe the government we can provide transportation and buses for government employees, but minister, directors, these people should get their own cars. Do you know how much money we spend on cars every year? For even senator and representative, let them get their own cars. They're being paid. Think about it this way. A poor employee of the Ministry of Information, the last time I checked, some of them were making, are still making 40 or 45 United States dollars plus 1,000 or 2,000 Liberian dollars. That is their pay. These people go to work and they find a way to feed their family. So how come minister who is making maybe 5,000 cannot be able to provide transportation for themselves? How come? That would register a significant departure from the past. The money that we are spending to buy cars for these people can be spent to buy computers and renovate our schools so our children can be prepared for tomorrow. That will register a significant departure from the past. Hello? Can we do that? I want to see that. I really want to see that. It will register a significant departure from the past. The post-civil servant manages every time and gets to work. He's not being provided car. He's not being provided any incentive, no benefit, zero, just that salary. And that person shows up to work. And you tell me you must buy a car for the minister. You must provide gasoline for the minister. You must provide money for the repair of that minister. And yes, he walks away with the highest pay. He has access to government budget. He signs checks. Some of the checks will land in their pocket anyway. And this is a man we are buying car for and doing everything for. What sense does it make? This country is extremely poor and broke. Your budget is less than 1 million United States dollars. And yet you are buying cars for everybody. And you think you're serious and going somewhere. Register a significant departure from the past. This is what we call transformation. Buying cars, buying cars, buying cars, buying cars now is almost like the achievement of all our governments. And they don't stop at buying the cars. We provide gasoline for this guy, giving them up to 1,000 glass ship, 100 gallons of gas every month. They are right there in Monrovia. Some of them don't even drive 5 miles a day. And they take those cars, they will take the cars and go visit their girlfriends. And use government cars for just about anything. Can we get an executive order and there be a departure? Or can we get a legislation that will be ratified by the national legislature so that these officials of government can buy their own cars? I work for a multi-million-dollar company, a Fortune 500 company in the United States that their operational budget is in billions. This business makes an annual profit in billions. That company has money to buy a car for every employee, and yet it does not. I don't have to get my own car from my pay. So how can a poor country like Liberia, with a budget less than 1 million, is buying cars for those who get the highest pay anyway? What sense does it make? And these are the people that sit in the offices and want chairs and don't transform anything and do the bare minimum. And they want to be called honorable by the poor and the suffering. And the poor and suffering people worship the enemy because some of them political leaders, and you think we are going anywhere with this shared nonsense and stupidity of the highest order. Not being innovative, not thinking about the ordinary person, not thinking about the child who is in West Point or somewhere who is not getting significant education, who has no access to a library, who has no access to a computer, who has no access to internet. Can we register a departure from the past with this ugly behavior? Look at how much money these cars can cost. The last time I checked, they say Lane Eugene Nambe at the Marathon got a car that was around 70,000 United States dollars. If that is true, do you know how many computers 70,000 United States dollars can get from a government high school? Do you know? Do you know how many children you'll be inspiring? You'll be putting smile on your faces. You'll be making them to want to be the next Steve Jobs in Liberia. Just by granting them access to a functional computer in a school. And one man will take that money and he buy a car for him. And the next thing he wants is a fat check. It's a traveling allowance. Let us register a departure from the past. I would recommend, besides the president, the speaker, maybe the deputy speaker, the pro tem, the chief justice and associate justices, and also by providing utility vehicles for the police, immigration, and the security apparatus, and buying buses for government, ministry, and agency for employees, regular employees. All other government officials should be able to buy their own cars from the money they are making. A broke, poor government is acting as though it has money when it does not, when it is begging around. And the little they have to build a foundation for the country is spending it on cars that will not move the country forward. Let there be a departure from the past on that. Somebody might want to say amen to that one. So, folks, finally, how is this new president going to be a departure from the past? What we've seen in the past, President Weah did not depart from individuals with questionable character. And this is my final point. I don't want to be here this long. Will President Boakai be a departure from President Weah? President Weah was being accused of harboring criminals, making criminals to be handling our passports, running consulates in other countries for Liberia. For example, there was this consulate they tried to open in Mexico, where I might argue no Liberian citizen or citizens live. What was the reason for that? Mexico is known for drugs, and then they have attempted to open a dubious consulate. The last time it was reported that the vice president of Liberia was in business with a hardcore criminal who was involved into money laundering and all that. Our vice president were doing business, and some people said, well, there's some kind of quasi relationship between them. The past administration was doing business with questionable characters, individuals with record of criminality. Will this president be a departure from the past? Will Unity Party be a departure from the past? So I was talking about investigation earlier before I come to my final point. There was a horrible incident that happened at the Unity Party's headquarters when it was celebrating the official announcement of the final result that Joseph Yimam Boakai was elected president of Liberia. During that time, during that celebration that night, a guy drove through the crowd with a car, turned the light off, reportedly opened the door. It led to the death, reportedly about 3 persons, and over 15 persons got wounded severely. President-elect Joseph Boakai visited the hospital. The United Party was calling for an investigation. The entire country was calling for an investigation. What happened? Amara Kone wrote on Facebook that that was an accident. Accident? How come? How come? And because Amara Kone has been associated with the Unity Party, because extremely late in the campaign, he endorsed Joseph Yimam Boakai to gain popularity, and now he's like a covenant now to Boakai in no time. And because he is now a Unity Party partisan and said it was an accident, the Unity Party ended its investigation right there. Amara Conan became the police chief now. They ended right there. I'm not sure Unity Party has any interest in getting to the bottom of what happened at their party headquarters, because Unity Party partisan said it was an accident. He was a big guy. They can't change it. Can Unity Party really investigate this matter and come to the Liberian people and tell us what actually happened? They will tell you, well, one government at a time, let the government investigate. But Amara investigated, right? And he made a report that it was an accident. Will Unity Party as a political institution conduct its own investigation? Will it conduct its own investigation and report to us what actually happened? Whether it was actually an accident or not? Can we get that? We may never get that because Amara said it was an accident. So that's it. So this party, this president-elect must be a departure, because that is what President Weah and the CDC will do. President Weah will say, oh, that boyfriend and girlfriend thing they were doing on Broad Street, that how the auditors died, and boom, that's it. So they flow. And they conducted the investigation in that manner because they don't want to prove the president wrong. But some experts say, well, that was carbon monoxide, that smoke hit the people. They got poisoned by smoke. These people were living, being sitting in the car. They were not sleeping. And the smoke entered the car. They couldn't open the doors. And the smoke killed them. I don't think they were sleeping in the street car on Broad Street. But that was the investigation. So can Unity Party be a departure from that behavior from the previous government? Concocting investigation to save the face of the to save the face of the administration or the government. Would there be a departure? So finally, my final point, President-elect Joseph Boakai is in America. Who funds the trade? He is president-elect now. The fact that he's president-elect, I don't know whether government should be responsible for his travel. Who paid for his travel? What is he here for? Do we know why our new president is here? Do we know what he's here for? I heard some party stars saying, well, he came here to tell the people in the diaspora who contributed to a campaign, he came here to tell them thank you. Seriously? That is why he's here? Did he come to power to rescue Liberians in America? I thought he came to power to rescue Liberians in Liberia, to rescue the nation Liberia. President-elect, less than 3 weeks after election, he has traveled. You are not giving us solid reason why he has traveled. And he came to tell Liberians in America, thank you. And you want us to believe that. This man was elected to rescue Liberians and to rescue Liberia. Why can't any group of people deserve to be thanked for the victory and the blessing and the opportunity given to Joseph Boakai? It should be Liberians in Liberia. They voted. They endure the economic hardship under President Weah. They said they need a new government. They said they want to be rescued. Why can't he go around the country to tell the people, thank you? The people in Nimba, the people in Grand Crew, every county that voted for him. Why can't he go there to tell them thank you? He left suffering Liberians who need rescue and came to America where we have refrigerator. Some of us can eat 3 times a day. We have jobs, except you don't want to work. Those are the people he came. He had to travel to come and tell them thank you. But he can't travel to tell Liberians in Liberia thank you. Who voted for him? The ones who sat here never voted for him, running their mouth like myself. He came to tell us thank you. Seriously? I would not believe that. They'd rather tell us a different story. The point I'm making here is the deception lying to your people, deceiving your people, now be honest with your people, was one of the things that got President Weah and the CDC out of power today. This is the same exact behavior I see here. Can Joseph Boakai be a departure from that? Can the United Party come clean and be honest with us? This is not their first time lying about things, telling us something different than what it actually is. Can there be a departure from the past? And yet it's the big one. I was talking to you about the Weah government, what's her name? Even the vice president, or Joel Howard Taylor, in some kind of relationship or quasi deal and association with some questionable individuals who are involved in the money laundering and all that. Right? Yes, our president-elect. He's in America. The greatest democracy in the world, the world power. Liberians will say America that they are traditional friend. That's saying they will live with it and then that country will remain poor with it. He has come to America. The first pictures that we see from our president-elect are pictures with a criminal who has been investigated, first was indicted, investigated, and found guilty, who confessed to criminality in the United States. Someone who wronged, who has committed an act of criminality against the United States of America and the United States people. That is the person Joseph Boakai is meeting in America. These are the first pictures that we are seeing from the president-elect. Hello? Insensitivity. How can you exercise any such poor judgment? So, this individual, Mr. Witherspoon, was instrumental in electing Joseph Boakai. He used the entire media empire against the current government and helped Joseph Boakai tremendously. He is a criminal. Joseph Boakai accepted his money and his support and won the presidency. Joseph Boakai is president. Joseph Boakai will still not draw a line between this criminal and himself. And he wants to lecture all about accountability and transparency. I saw a picture of Joseph Boakai and his wife, our incoming First Lady, standing with this U.S. convicted criminal, a convict who is going to jail next. He's going to jail next month. Our previous president is in America. The first picture to show that he has come to rescue us from corruption, from bad association, from insensitivity, from poor judgment, from unseriousness, is with a criminal in America, where that individual committed that crime. This is how he registered a departure. So when we ask the question, will President Boakai be a departure from President Weah? When? How? And he did not stop there. He sat with him and they are watching a football game. Stanton has done so much wrong. The gravity of the crime he committed in America here is very serious. You're talking about around 111 million United States that are scammed. This guy was involved with. And this is a guy Joseph Boakai dances with. He rose with him. He is a God's son. He took money from him. And he did not stop there. He comes to the greatest country where this man committed this crime. And Joseph Boakai wants to run a clean government. Oh, Stanton helped him. Stanton helped to make him president, so he can't draw the line. He chills with him. He watches football game with him. Is that a departure from the past? How is he different from Weah Howard Taylor, who is friend with someone guilty or was indicted and found criminally guilty for money laundering. This is a man who is guilty of wire fraud in the tune of 111 million against the people of the United States and the great United States of America that Joseph Boakai wants to be in good books with. You come to America and at the man you go visit. And at the man you're sitting with, you're watching football, you're taking picture with him and let the whole world see. You don't care what message is sent. Insensitivity was what we are demonstrated throughout. He was dancing buka, he was making music, while our people were hoping that he will become the country giant they voted for. He was flying private jets, rolling with criminals. He never cared. What a start. Well, folks, I have to leave it. Look. Talking will not change Liberia. Many have talked. Talking will not change Liberia. What I'm saying is there must be a departure from the past. And that must start with the president-elect. He must be sensitive to what he does. He cannot get compromised if he's so much indebted to the point that he cares less about the message this behavior sends out. He cares less. One can only assume if there's any business interest, whatever the criminal would need, he would get it anyway from Joseph Boakai. No hesitance whatsoever on his part. He rose with him. He chills with him. He takes pictures with him. One of the pictures I saw, our new president had his hands like this, and he was there in anticipation, in a glorifying way, wishing for that picture to be taken. Where is the line? And in the video of him watching this football game with him, it's like that's a lady who is doing the recording. Where they were, no one knows. Who is providing security for our president-elect, no one knows. Is he be provided security? I think he should be provided security as president-elect. That's how it should be. Or is he providing his own security? Does he know the individuals? How trained are they? Is this man not left vulnerable? I will leave it there. First impression matters. The first step you take in everything matters. If you were cooking my palm butter and you put something in there to give the palm butter a terrible taste, that palm butter is sour. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. This is what we are seeing right here. We wish our new president-elect well, and we hope that he will be a departure from the past, for he and his team must rescue Liberia. If they must rescue Liberia, they should have economic team. They should have team on security. I'm told they have clusters of individuals working on these things. We want to see that. Another departure from the past I want to see is not just appointing people and you put their names in newspaper, you just announce their name on the website of the executive mansion. I don't want to see that. Some of these people are appointed. We don't even know them. The citizens don't know them, especially those who will be senior ministers and officials of government. When these people are appointed, I want to see the president calling, for example, the Minister of Education. This is my Minister of Education. John Brown is best suited for this position because John Brown is qualified. He has the academic qualification. He has practiced in the educational field for this number of years. These are the transformations he's brought to education in his previous field. He is best suited. He is credible, and he will be my eyes and my ear. I'm commissioning this person to ensure that every child in Liberia is not left behind when it comes to education. That there is a seat, there's a chalkboard, and that is a library for every student in Liberia. That is this person's responsibility. I want to see our new president doing that. That would be a departure from the past. You just announce people name and say, the president of Liberia appoint the following individual, John Brown. John Brown. Who is John Brown? We don't know John Brown, where John Brown stems from, where John Brown is coming. We have to be asking them, who is this person? Oh, that person brought up. Oh, wow, that person, the family corral. Seriously? We must see a departure from the past. When you appoint a minister of defense, tell all who that minister of defense is. When you appoint a minister of finance, tell all who that minister of finance is. What makes him to be qualified? What the qualification? What he experiences? What he's done in the past? What will he do differently? How credible he is. When you give us any senior official of government, stand with the person and now this person is, and tell us who that person is. That is how it must be done. The Liberian people elected you to serve them. And then you just throw name at us. You are accountable to us. You should explain to us whatever you do. You should tell us who you are appointing. We need to know. It is not enough to put people's name on paper and put it on Executive Mansion website. That doesn't tell us anything. We must hear from the president telling us that I appoint this person to control the educational sector because this person is this, that. And this is what I want to see the person to do. This person and myself share the same vision when it comes to education. And what I want to see the person do is to make sure that every child in Liberia, in every village, have a seat in the classroom. And there's a teacher. Just throw the person name up there. And that's it. Do not have that departure from the past. Is that a difficult request, folks? I don't think it is. So, folks, some people pray. I know and I understand prayer is powerful. And this is how I close the broadcast now. But I tell you this much. Prayer will not save Liberia. Prayers will not save Liberia. Prayers will not rescue Liberia. Imagine how many prayers we've had. I heard about a Liberia for Jesus Christ crusade headed by one evangelist, Rehab Bonki. And there's a fast and prayer day in Liberia. We're praying for the new government. We're praying for the new president. You cut that whole prayer thing off. You cut it off. Faith without work is dead. It is about, look, let our work be our prayers. Let our intentionality be our prayers. Let our ideas pray for us. Let how we treat our brothers and sisters be our prayer. Can we try that? Because we bear on our knee praying to Jesus Christ as though we are the only one Jesus Christ is responsible for. Just stop this prayer thing. Anytime I hear people say, oh, we're praying for the president, we're praying that the new government, it means that they have given up. Ideas rule the world today. Work rule the world today. Not prayer. Liberian people, stop this prayer thing. Stop praying for the new government. Stop praying for new government. We have prayed for every government we had. Liberia is still behind. Stop the prayer, do the work. I don't want to hear no prayer business in anybody mouth about our country. I don't want to hear no prayer business. Prayer will not develop Liberia. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't pray. Pray. You can pray all you want. Liberia will not get developed because of prayer. I know one thing. Work, sincerity, honesty, fighting corruption, the rule of law, respect for human rights, bringing transformation to Liberia. eliminating the waste and abuse in government, holding people accountable, providing basic social services for our people, finding the money to do the work, to provide the things that our country needs, will do it. Now your prayer. If you say you can pray, pray now. Let me see what $1 million or $2 billion will fall from heaven and come. It will not happen. If Liberia will get $2 billion in revenue, let us use ideas and innovate with, say, tourism. We have some of the best tourism sites you can find in West Africa. We have the most significant and unique history in the world. Our history is more unique than even the history of the United States. We can use that history alone by attracting people to Liberia and make billions of Liberia. Prayer will not bring people to Liberia. Our ideas of telling other people about our country, what we have, will bring them, and then they will spend money here, and then our young people will get employed. Prayer will not do it. Prayer will not do it. The Bible is clear. Diligent hands will rule, the Bible said. And the good boy also said, eat, drink, but what you work for. It didn't say what you pray for. So Liberian people, if you think you know God more than me, you lie. But no prayer has ever put bread on my table. No prayers have ever put bread on your table. Even if somebody gave it to you, that person worked for it. Hello? So I'll stop right there. And I talk to a close in a little bit of a fasted biblical faction there. I hope you enjoyed the analysis answering here with the hour of politics on the topic. Will President Boakai be a departure from President Weah? He can do it. Nothing stops him. He must do it for Liberia, for he is on a rescue mission. And when you are coming to rescue somebody in distress, come prepared. Come with the tools. Don't give excuses. It is no time to give excuses for somebody who is in a dangerous place, in a distressful situation, who is in the place of danger that need immediate rescuing. You must come prepared with all the tools. That's how rescue missions are conducted everywhere in the world. This rescue mission must succeed. And we are here to ensure that it does succeed. Okay? Thank you. Enjoy the sun. We are all Liberians. Until I catch you again. My name is Ansonesie, and we need to have the conversation about this dear country, Liberia, that God gave us this country. And God said we must work to develop the country. God didn't tell us, say, you pray to develop. God did not tell us that. Well, enjoy the sun, and bye-bye.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home. Liberia people. Liberia, we want. Liberia, oh. Liberia, we want. Liberia,